Hello there, fellow wanderers of the field. Starless Plains here. Welcome back to another episode of The Ladder. It's quite shocking that the previous episode of this game, we learned about one person that was Hannah's longtime friend, I think, or just friend or something. Apparently, we've learned that she's bearing Luke's bastard child, probably. I'm sorry if I were to say that for those that, you know, but. We can't be for sure if it's actually, if Luke is actually the father, but she said so it is. Which is actually quite shocking. Of course, I do feel bad for Hannah right now that she has to hear that and deal with the kind of situation that Luke has been dealing with. And of course decided that Hannah needs to be stepping away from her marriage just so she can worry about herself. But, with all that aside, she had some help with both Rose and Zachary with her problem. And let's continue on. We even make it out of the ballroom without any untoward incident. Alright, let's check the journal. Alright, the Rat Mansion officially opened its doors to a grand housewarming feast. Zachary Steele, Ashton Frey, and Rebecca Gales were seen attending. However, what was supposed to be a great day of merriment turned sour when Rochelle Lee, the chief inspector's wife, accused Luke Wright of fathering her unborn baby. Yeah, so that's her name. And of course, Luke is down there, since I decided that Hannah needs to step away from her marriage for right now. Yeah, if she were to at least improve her happily ever after, quote unquote, I don't think things will be turning out great for her. So I believe she has to think of herself right now. Alright, let's continue. Though judging by the commotion in another room, the same cannot be said about the unexpected eviction. Unexpected eviction? I really do need the fresh air. I need to be away from those nosy Parkers. I need to be away from Luke. This is a good start as any.
Hey, I gotta go back in there. Completely forgot my bag like an airhead, and I'll see if I can tag Ash on the way out. You'll be fine here, right, Hannah?
Not to worry, dearie. I'll just be right here.
Zach will be with you if you need anything.
Becky balks at the idea of going back into the ballroom. Anyone who hasn't yet would have realized I'm gone by now. And those busybodies will be about how I left the building with two unknowns. Along with what just transpired, stories both inaccurate and made up will spread by the night's end. It all matters very little in the grand scheme of things, of course. I won't even bother to try and quell them by returning to the fray. That leaves me with...
Zachary?
Yeah, you need something?
I was only going to say how nice it is to see you again.
Oh, okay.
Is it? I can see the tension in the line of his shoulders. Odd how awkward he is when this is in our first meeting. We had met on professional terms, certainly, but I like to think I was friendly. Nonetheless, I did not push the issue about the apparent discomfort when we were left alone. No, not right away, at any rate. I know my curiosity will get the best of me soon. Before I could say anything, however, he speaks up.
You okay there, Hannah? I mean, of course you're not okay after what happened in there. I mean, that was terrible. But you're not gonna just fall down and faint or anything, right?
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern.
A beat.
I should be asking you the same thing. I remember you being a lot more eloquent.
Oh yeah, I'm just not too good with staying too long in a crowded room. Or handling intense drama, you know?
That sounds like me.
Sorry about my clothes. I didn't think there'd be a dress code. Not that I have anything that nice to wear to a shindig like this. I dig nice, small, simple parties, so this is a real doozy for me.
And do you you host your own nice, small, and simple parties often?
Only when there's occasion, birthdays, and stuff. Those are a lot more fun for me, and I can be a lot more selective about letting only the people I'm cool with attend, right? I get to pick the food, too. Of course, I make most of them myself. There's usually a dozen people or less, and all we really do is just hang out. Maybe do some grilling, karaoke, dancing, you know, the usual.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. You sure you're all right? You aren't exactly being eloquent yourself, as you put it.
Oh, what do you think? I mean, after all that, that craziness that's been happening to Rochelle and what she, said about Luke and all?
You must have something you want to get off your chest.
I don't know, Zachary. What am I supposed to say?
You can scream married if you want. I won't snitch.
I wish I know what minute day is.
You want to know what I think? How I feel? I think my friend may have slept with my husband. At least, I'm pretty sure she isn't pregnant with his baby, which isn't much now, is it? My husband is a selfish, pretentious, bloody sack of shite, and ugh!
Hey, you gotta have her right to vent out.
You know what? I don't give a flying fuck anymore! My God!
Well, that ain't good. Not giving a crap won't make the problem go away.
I'm going to ask him for a break, Zachary. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't a problem, but I just need to step back.
Fair enough. As long as you don't just up and disappear on him, I suppose.
Hello, who knows what will happen next? What if another woman will say that he is fathering his child again?
Yes. Now can we please stop talking about him? Tell me more about your small, simple parties.
I guess she wants to think about something else to ease her mind off of what's been happening earlier.
Karaoke and dancing. How does that even go together?
Simple, really. We hope Ash doesn't take the mic, put on a bit of fun music, and just dance.
Oh God, no.
Not that I can, but there ain't nothing complex about it.
You can't be that bad.
I'm pretty good with the twist. Or that's what they tell me, at least. I think they're just being nice. I'm sure it just looks awkward.
How should I respond? Prove it, or at least you can cook. Well, I want to make sure I am nice to him. I mean, Zachary is a very nice guy to actually talk to, and I don't want him to feel so, I don't know. At least you can cook. I don't know if that would sound great. Prove it? My God, this is a tough decision to make, especially when it comes to Zachary. Other people I'm fine with, but Zachary, I just want to make sure I'm in good terms with him. I've
learned that men tend to exaggerate. You can't honestly be that bad, can you?
What? Do you need a demonstration?
I hope that didn't... Did it raise his relationship, I think? I think he's in par right now with Marianne, but I don't know if that actually rose it, but who knows? Maybe when I get to editing, maybe I can see for myself.
That would be preferable, yes.
It's not like there's music here, Hannah. Come on. I could barely dance with music, and I don't want to be dancing alone. I'll just look silly.
Imagine, mon ami. You are an artiste, are you not? With your photos and films and your guitar. You must know notes to play an instrument. Find a melody and a beat. Would it be such a stretch of the imagination? And don't fret, I will gladly be your partner.
Aww. I can tell by his expression that he's flushed, embarrassed. But no more protests escape him, and he focuses with a slight tilt of his head. Then he starts to hum a little tune. I drag him into the gardens while he goes through the motions, and he gains courage, the farther we are from other people. Aww, and we just dance. Though he stumbles at first, unsure and bashful.
Where did you even learn to dance, Zach? The 60s want their moves back.
obviously. And I'll have you know the twist is still an awesome dance.
We're happy and we're having fun. Even if Zachary fumbles with the steps and did the funniest, oddest movements that anyone could pass off as dancing. There's no need to impress anyone, however, not even each other. And this is the most I've smiled and laughed in a long time. Kinda reminds me of someone. It is simple. Simple is nice. Oh my god. I don't know why that part just started to make me tear up and all that. I mean, I don't know, just that little small moment, I mean, it's just really hit me because it kind of reminds me of a certain someone a long time ago. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have to be embarrassed about it. All you have to do is just have a good time, laugh, have some fun and all. And just make life the most of it, even with the simplest things that you can find or see. I mean, life is too short. And we gotta make the most of it through and through. I wish the same can be said about what I'm about to do. Simple isn't the adjective I will use to describe the task at hand. Because, really, how does one tell their husband that they want to separate and say that, no, this is not a divorce? Not yet, at least. The possibility is there. But still, how am I even to explain that to Luke without him throwing a fit? So what? He's gonna throw a fit whether you ever deal with the situation or not. Cutting too deeply into my sausages, I opened my mouth to excuse myself. That is, until I spied Luke mashing and stirring his poached eggs with a fork like a petulant child. He has been silent, all the while, chin in his hand and elbow resting on the table. I worry that my absence after the debacle, however you pronounce it, may have caused more harm than good.
Luke?
It's not you. Okay, it's you. Oh, I unlocked an achievement.
I think we need a bit of a break. You know, some time apart.
At my words, he grows still and silent. I'm not quite sure whether I should be worried or not. I take it as my cue to keep talking.
It's not permanent or anything like that. Just for a while. In a few days, perhaps. I was thinking I can move back into our penthouse in the meantime, but I won't be moving out right away, so that I can help settle everything here. And I haven't even thought of packing yet. And I'll want to ask Johans to assign some of our staff. Unless you want the penthouse anyway. Then I'll stay here instead.
No, you take the penthouse. It'll be easier for you.
Really? Oh, come on! So you'd rather live in a big mansion in the lap of luxury while you just let Hannah just take the little penthouse? Are you that fucking greedy? It isn't supposed to be this easy, is it? Can he really react so aloof to it?
Isn't this to your liking? I imagine that you'd like the space and independence. You'll have the bed and covers to yourself, and you can have whatever you want prepared for meals. You can even have all the wine you want, though I'd rather that you don't.
So what, let him drink to his death.
This isn't about that, Hana. Well, it's partly that, but...
But... The man stops playing with his food, choosing instead to push the plate aside.
What's wrong, Luke?
He slumps back in his chair and stops short of putting his feet up on the table. Really? Oh, that's nice wood over there. I suspect he's wanting some wine or absinthe by now, but any sort of alcohol is suspiciously absent in his hands.
Aside from that disaster yesterday and you telling me you want a divorce, everything is peachy keen.
Oh my god, Luke, it is not a fucking divorce. All Hannah wants to do is just to get a break. Sheesh. Can it get it through for your fucking thick skull of yours?
Will you want me to start on the letters then? To start the divorce settlements and whatnot? Will you be seeking ways to throw me out onto the street without a penny to my name?
No, Luke, this isn't a divorce. I just told you this is only temporary. Are you really having a sulk because of what she said yesterday?
I am having a sulk because you believe her. You stormed out and now you're asking for us to split up? Soon enough, you'll want to throw me out like I'm a piece of trash.
Well, you are.
Do you think I would be this calm if I believed her, Lucille Mitchell right?
That's his real name? Lucille? Hey, that is weird.
Because believe me, if I did, well, it wouldn't be pretty. Besides, I know how you feel about children. It makes her whole statement laughable.
Sure, whatever you say.
His mouth draws into a thin line, and I can't bring myself to comment on his half-hearted reply. To me, the silence that follows feels oppressive. It only emphasizes the wall that has been built up by my obedience. Like, hey, I'm having trouble trying to figure out words that I don't even know what they are. And its hubris. And it looms between us, keeping us apart.
When are you leaving? In a week?
It won't take that long to pack. After All Saints, perhaps?
All Saints?
I'll go and inform the staff of this.
He only nods. And I'll be lying if I said that that didn't disappoint me. I expect more resistance. The man could be stubborn as a mule if he wants to be. Perhaps I can leave now, just to spite him. But that isn't like me. Even if this does end in a divorce, a thing we both surely wish to avoid, we can still leave on amicable terms. There's no point in making a mountain out of a molehill.
What are you still doing here?
Oh, fuck you, Luke.
Just leave. You still have some packing to do, don't you?
You're an asshole, you know that, Luke?
Go ahead. I won't stop you.
Sheesh. I'm starting to fucking hate Luke right now. I don't even know what's going on in his fucking head right now. Go ahead. And do nothing. There isn't much to do, it seems. Whenever I step onto the plate and try to take responsibility for something. Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for that job? And with Johans overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't leave me much for me. I can't even take the job of delegation, because all it takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have very well been the chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hannah, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea. Great plan.
There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with. Any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on the counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off, and I don't really know what brought me to the kitchens in the first place. Maybe that cellar door, probably? It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. But there was a calling to this room. I knew it. Speaking of calling, why not do just that? Might as well, since I have nothing else to do. At least that will require some effort on my part. Which how cut off from the rest of Luxborn the mansion is, and with how long it was abandoned before we moved in, having a landline is out of the question. The solution is supposed to be our mobiles, though it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in this area. It'll take a bit of maneuvering to get even a single bar as it is. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold drawers. That suits me just fine. The other matter that needs my effort is who to call. She who must not be named is certainly off the list. Oh, Rochelle. That doesn't even leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with the category who else is awake at this early hour. Soon enough, I manage and the call goes through.
Hello, Rebecca Gales here.
Becky. Or Rebecca, yeah.
Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh, wait, how did you get my number?
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime.
It's nice.
Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good. It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
Don't know about that.
Mathematics?
History, actually. Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened. But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
I was hoping you could thank Zachary on my behalf as well. He was really kind and wonderful.
Well, you can tell him that yourself if you want. I can give you his number.
Oh, no, I don't want to be a bother.
Pretty sure he'd be
Oh,
fine
shit.
with it. If you two on a first-name basis and all. So, his number, right, it's...
Oh, no. The call starts to go static, much to my frustrations. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words, too. I can barely understand what she's saying. And the line completely dies. That's not good. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light throbbing on one side of my head. The static is gone, and that helps a lot. But there's still that incessant, horrible clicking. Again, and again. Which doesn't make sense. The mode's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then... where? It's gotta be that cellar door where the wine is. Yep. Looking about, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading to the wine cellar once more. That's when the clicking stops and I can hear that crying. That familiar crying from before. What happened that other day? When I was told that nobody could have been down there. I try to forget it because of how it unsettled me so. One can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing I'm trying to forget. Somebody is crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. They might have forgotten to lock it with the party going on.
This again? If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy.
Uh-oh. This scene again from the last episode. True enough, all it takes is just a bit of pull to open the hatch. As I look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness rushes over me. It isn't just a sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, I feel as if it's looking back at me. I worry that someone will suddenly pull me into the deep. The cries drown beneath the streaks that start echoing in my head, high in trills, like nails being dragged across a chalkboard. They're all screaming, shouting at me. And I could just feel her rage. Help me. She wants to drown me, drag me down, and crush me in the very depths of darkness, until there is nothing left of me. The deep abyss awaits for me. Oh, please, Hannah, don't go down there! Please! For my death. They're all calling for it. This is a nightmare. There's a rope around my neck, and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they're all screaming. I'm screaming. Though it may not be my voice that escapes my lips. Its claws through climbing up and forcing its way up my throat like putrid bile. I choke and gag, yet I scream and shriek all at the same time. And I'm me, but not me. Huh? Shit! What happened? The scream stops and died down. It's a moment of reprieve, and I want to believe that I'm finally safe. Don't tell me this is like before with Isabella. But it's quiet. Too quiet. Oh shit! Holy fuck! I didn't expect that! Alright. I got it? Oh, thank God. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. It makes me tumble, and I can just feel my whole body seizing, writhing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. Feels like I'm on the verge of death. And if I'm not dying, I really wish I actually am.
Hana? Hana, what is going on in here?
Huh?
Why are you?
Prince!
Seeing Luke, something snacks back, and I am able to take a gasp of air on my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have rejoiced and cried for his name if the pain still did not wreck my body. Instead, all I can do is stare listlessly as he comes to my side and lifts me up, cradling me in his arms. He tries to get me to my feet, perhaps to take me out of here. But all he's able to do is to get me to sit, make sure I'm not trashing on the floor. I can still feel my muscle spasms, limbs jerking like a puppet on a string. Luke holds me tight and keeps me still, so that I do not hurt myself anymore. Whatever it is that happened, it has my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually, the pain dies down into a dull ache, and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the wetness of my cheeks, tears streaking down my face. Coughing racking my body, now that I don't feel like choking. And it's just, all feels so horrible. But I don't care. I don't care.
Luke, please.
What happened here? Who did this to you?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Shh, it's all right. You're safe now, Hana. You're safe now.
Awesome, we're at Zachary's! Alright, now let's check the relationships first. Let's see. Seems to be at the par with over here with Zachary and Marianne. Luke is a bit halfway through there. And let's check the journal. Alright. Alright. In the aftermath of Rochelle's accusations, a devastating Hannah has seen exiting the ballroom with Rebecca Gills and Zachary Steele. Hannah has left in the care of a man when Rebecca had to go back to the party and search for Ashton. Now alone, the two had a talk and both were smiling at the end of it. Let's see, during breakfast, Hannah asked Luke for a break. She'd be moving back to their penthouse for a couple of days. Despite trying to remain aloof, her husband accused her of wanting a divorce. Hannah insisted she simply needed a break from him. Hannah called Rebecca Gills, hoping to catch up to an old friend. The talk got interrupted by a horrible clicking and the cry of a woman from the wine cellar. Wow. Here's Zachary. 31? Sheesh. Pisces? Freelance photographer? He's American? Oh. Agnostic, diplomatic, indigenous. Wow. Alright, so we're now on Zachary's point of perspective right now. The pleasant aroma hits me along before I cross the threshold. Faint, but light and warm. A reminder of what home is. Past stern but commending gaze. Ma's tender smiles, the sunlight filtering through the eaves in the morning, and the distinct smell of cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time something cooks from the room. The room. Our room. Mom, Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I, too, eventually. But we ain't allowed there. Not yet. Not until we're taller or older. Not until we've learned how to take care of ourselves and not burnt our hands or reach the cupboards without having to be lifted.
But a little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah?
Oh, jeez. The floorboards are cold under my feet, more than it usually is. The wall's more forbidding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases and Pa.
No, please wait. I'll be good. I'll sleep on time.
Huh?
Don't go.
Can't hear Pa. The fuck? Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There is only the blinding fear. When my foot slips, the red sea that catches me is bitter and frigid, but the blood that drips in my hand is warm, warm, warm. Ain't my blood. The walls tumble and everything goes quiet. So that means... It probably means that maybe his father shot and killed his mother? Hope that's not the case. It takes a few minutes for everything to fall into place, for my eyes to adjust to the relative darkness of the room. Huh, looks really well kept and all. Looks very nice. Despite the pleasant chill the AC brings, my shirt is clinging tightly to me, and my blanket a tangled mess around my throat. Morning has not even arrived yet.
Way too early for this thing, man.
And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat, head littered with thoughts that are gone as soon as my eyes open. All too often, my imprints and brief images are left to haunt me for the rest of the day, until my mind forgets about it. Egad, wherever comes first. Yet vivid or not, that what little I can remember does not matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks, clawing up, pushing, urging me to relive every moment, every sensation, and... There's a twinkle in Mom's eyes when she looks up from her work, flour dusting her nose and cheeks. The scent of freshly baked bread wafts from the oven as soon as Pa opens it, and the homely fragrance of honey fills the room. He reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to move closer the moment he spots me on my little hiding place behind the door. I expected him to be angry, but his pat on my back when I came within his arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we put it up for sale tomorrow. You up for it, little man? Is it good enough? A knock cuts from the air before I can answer. Sharp, heavy, demanding, familiar. So distantly familiar. Ma ushers me out of the kitchen when Pa moves to answer it. But I know. I know what awaits outside. The taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut. Ma's apron crinkling under my tight grip. Something snaps back into place. My bed remains in utter disarray. The walls still need a new paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite my bed is as unsettling as ever. Asher's right. I should have already replaced that one when I had the chance.
You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there are miles apart. Calm down. Breathe.
The pressure on my own fingers against my temple is a welcome sensation over the anxiety gripping me. It never really did anything to stave off the headache sure to follow after this before, but it grounds me. A little reminder that I'm safe, away from the place I once called home. On pause. The urgency which, with each rap that follows, finally chases away the ghost threatening to hang around. Why does anyone think it's a good idea to knock at someone else's door? This like confuses me. Nana would chase them all away with the broom if she was here. But no matter, it's a welcoming break from the thoughts about to take a morbid turn if I left festering. It's probably just Ash anyway, looking for a place to crash. Looking for a place to crash. Wonder of wonders why he's bothering with the courtesy when he never did so before. Even with that hunch, though, the habit compels me to check who it is first through the peephole. They're safe and sorry, they say. Except the person that greets me on the other side ain't him. Unless his hair grew longer overnight and starts wearing a ponytail, of course. Which is highly doubt it happens anytime soon, no matter how funny that looks in my head. I waste no time opening the hatches.
Isabella.
Isabella?
It's late.
Wait, Isabella? Did you manage to escape the office? There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. Her face is pallid shade. Shoulders tense, breathing heavy, an uncontrollable shaking in her hands which trying to hold back. Hide, if I didn't know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry, I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you were the closest to my office, and...
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now. Do you want to come in?
Is it all right? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought... I'm sorry, I just thought... I have no idea why I went here. My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and... Sorry.
She trails off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I wait for her to say more, but instead, her only response is a downward shift of her gaze. Back to her still trembling hands if the motion alone is enough of an explanation. A minuscule gesture. Easy to miss if one is paying attention. But for someone who has seen the same expression in the mirror, done the same thing too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it is not.
Hey, don't worry about it. At least you not. Ash just barges in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it. I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal.
I swear to God. Without waiting for her answer, I step away from the door and saunter over the kitchenette. For a few good seconds, only the clinking of the plates have been heard above the constant tick-tock. Late as it may be for a snack, the familiar motions keep me occupied, steering my mind away from dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcome either. Whatever her reasons for showing up here, such an hour doesn't matter. Well, it's probably because she had to escape that one person that was trying to attack her. The curse, of course. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, frazzled as she is. The door clicked shut before her when she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tile floor. In all the years I've known her, she has never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet in this particular moment, as she stands in my doorway, holding her arms close to herself, it's as if I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person I've come to know all these years.
Do you want to drink or eat anything? I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited. But I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just water will do, please. Thanks, Zach.
What? No additional food requests?
Oh, Zach, you can't be that generous.
That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. Hey, feel free to make yourself at home. You ain't exactly a new visitor here. Although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry. New freelance gigs and such. Didn't have time to fix things up here lately.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Usually she has something more to say about that. A quip, a witty remark to provoke a laughter or two. Nothing from her this time. Only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch. And a silence that stretches out until what we left hanging feels disconcerting. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue talking, if only to keep the dead air at bay. How's one supposed to keep a conversation going when the person you're talking to is like this?
Anyway, gigs. Can you believe this one client we got? Boss had all my scheduled shoots shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property.
Oh, God.
Man, Must be nice to have all the money in the world. The world itself moves for you, huh?
She curled up in one side of the couch, hugging her knees close when I bring the tray carrying the sandwiches and the water she requested. She starts to straighten up as I'm unloading the contents, but pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture.
You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home? Here's your water. Careful.
The tremor in her hands, though lighter now, still hasn't subsided when she reaches out for the glass. I give her a questioning look, but she is quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied, taking small gulps of water. Or maybe she just doesn't want me asking questions. Worrying. The sudden loss for words. This bout of quiet not normally presents in our chats. Even the creaking of the old chair when I usually take the seat is a welcoming break. Although the company's familiar, this has gone way past unnerving.
What happened? Overtime at work?
She doesn't answer immediately. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents. One would think it would be enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it on her lap. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks again.
Yeah. Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened. To Rose.
Rose? Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before? Sorry, I'm better with remembering faces than names.
Ah, that's the same way with me.
She was my coworker. That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
Was? Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once or twice. It doesn't matter. You probably heard her name recently from the news than me.
Something clicks then. A little memory from the night before. The bright red light from the dark room. The strong odor of the stop bath. The television's barely audible murmur in the background. And the glimpse of my bloody room. The news is everywhere, even in the morning that follows. I just didn't think its effects will strike someone this close to me.
Oh. Damn. I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to, but it'll get better. Things might become a little busier for me, though. She left a lot of things unfinished, and I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works. Boss thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
Hopefully.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest. Even the most hard-working people I know don't keep hours as late as this. Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night.
I couldn't agree more.
It's just for today.
Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out here alone, especially not in the middle of the night.
Aw, Zach.
Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I could accompany you home if you...
No! Wait, please!
The vehement tension in her voice makes me pause. And it is in the instant the mask she's been keeping up falls apart, if only for a short while. Right then and there, I understood what's hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment she arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. It's disturbing to see such marring her unusual upbeat countenance. With the sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough.
Bella, this ain't just about your coworker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
The sound of glass shattering rings through the air as soon as her hold on it loosens. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
She claps her hands over her ears, pressing it tightly against the sides of her face, of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please, please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now. I can't shake it off. Everywhere's not safe and...
All right, Isabella. Look at me, look at me.
My hands are firm on her shoulders when I pulled her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes, in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close. Too similar.
Breathe. Breathe. You're safe here. Inhale, hold, exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it?
The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please. No more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Okay, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much. We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
She nods lightly before retreating into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that. I take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either one of us gets hurt. The quiet hum of the AC is pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than a ragged draw of breath or my little feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. But the latter does the trick. It's soon enough. She has already drifted off by the time I return with the promising glass of water, her chest rising and falling into the steady rhythm, the strain in her shoulders gone. Frankly, I've never seen her this still. She mumbles something I can't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed and hugs herself tightly against the mess of the blankets. In spite of the fact that she appears relaxed, the small frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. But for her sake, I hope it will stay long with her. There's still questions left to be answered. But the late hour, coupled with the sudden exhaustion, made my old couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Well, I'm gonna leave it over here. I mean, wow, such a strange turn of events that happened. But I don't know what else I could say about what happened earlier between both Zach and Hannah, and I don't know. But right now, we're in Zach's perspective, and at least he manages to help Isabella trying to regain her composure and all, but I'm just hoping that she'll be able to shake it off in the later episodes, but alright. Now we're in Zach's point of view, and I wonder how things will go in his life and all. But who knows? I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Alright. That's all for now. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you in the next episode. See you then.